Right now on News 4 at 4, the latest on efforts to restore power and how many people are still without electricity. Andrew?
Now, Nalene, it's a good thing the winds are gone, but you want to get that electricity restored soon because temperatures are dropping heading into the weekend. We'll talk about that cold coming up in your full wind forecast.
Wind damage in Niagara County. We'll show you some of the places hardest hit coming up.
These severe winds have blown away, but the cleanup is just beginning in neighborhoods across western New York. The high winds uprooted trees, ripped roofs right off of buildings, damaged cars and homes, and brought down power lines all over the place. Good afternoon, everybody. At this time yesterday, our live camera over downtown Buffalo was holding on for dear life. Today, you can see it's shaking just a little bit. We have live team coverage of the cleanup and effort to restore power. News 4's Angela Cristoforos is hearing from people directly impacted by the windstorm and will join us from a place where people can go to get help and to get warm. Also, forward meteorologist Andrew Baglini is tracking the latest changes. Again, thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock today. I'm in for Christy. We want to get right to your forecast first with Andrew Baglini. Andrew, are the worst of the winds over? Are you tracking snow now?
A little bit of snow, nothing major, but yeah, the winds are over. They ended last night, and moving forward, we'll get some calmer conditions, but it's going to turn colder now. That's our new focus heading toward the weekend, and especially with the power outages that we have still in western New York, that is a concern as temperatures will be falling. Here's a quick look over Chautauqua Lake. The clouds have moved in, and we could actually see a few snow showers across parts of the southern tier. Look at that satellite and radar. There is a band of moisture. Staying south of Buffalo, we're actually seeing a little bit of mixed precipitation into the northern tier of Pennsylvania, so maybe a few rain to snow showers mixing. Surface temperatures still above freezing in many spots, 32 right now, though, in Olean. So maybe a few isolated slick spots tonight, not expecting anything too problematic. Otherwise, 35 here in Buffalo, cool, but not quite chilly yet. 39 in Niagara Falls, but a lot of 30s across the board. We were still in the 40s yesterday, and a little bit breezy, but nothing compared to what we saw yesterday. Right now, around 15 to 20 miles an hour across the Niagara frontier, enough to make things feel a little bit chilly for tonight. Temperatures overall will be falling through the 30s this evening, and then overnight back down into the 20s below freezing. So it will be a chilly night and a chilly start to your Friday, but nothing unmanageable. However, look what these temperatures do getting into the afternoon. They'll actually be falling back into the lower 20s and upper teens. And this is going to be the cold, overspreading western New York, sticking around right through the upcoming weekend. So your forward forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy with a spotty snow shower, mainly south of Buffalo. Could see a coating to an inch, and temperatures bottom out in the mid-20s. Your Friday, scattered morning snow returning, and that includes us here around the metro area. Could see a coating to maybe an inch in some spots, and a few inches possible in the hills. Coming up in my full forward forecast, we'll track that snow, show you the models, time everything out for you, and talk about the upcoming weekend.
Andrew, thank you. Well, this is what some people woke up to. Lisa Schaefer sent us this picture from Cambria. You can see that utility pole just split right in half and was leaning onto power lines. A dangerous situation there. Also, check out this reported picture. This is from Jacqueline. You can see that the tree just toppled over. It covers the entire roadway. It's hard to tell if it hit that car behind it. It looks like the brake lights are on. We did reach out to Jacqueline to see where this picture was taken and if she knows anything else. We're waiting to hear back. Now, also, those strong winds knocked out power yesterday for more than 100,000 people across western New York. Today, there are still thousands without power. A look at the latest numbers now. You can see behind me here. These are both from NYSEG and National Grid. Still 23,000 NYSEG customers and more than 67,000 National Grid customers without power right now. People are waiting for their lights to be turned back on. We want to go now to News 4's Angela Cristoforos in the city of Tonawanda, where there's almost 500 people without power. The city has set up a center for those who need a warm place to go. She joins us live there with a look at all the damage that was left behind and how people, Angela, are dealing with it. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Nalina, winds packed a strong punch across Niagara County, especially in places like Lockport and Pendleton. Now, at their highest point yesterday, wind gusts reached speeds of up to 72 miles per hour. Now, public works crews have their hands full as they work to clean up the mess of downed trees and power lines. Thousands of people are still without power right now in Niagara County. Today, the Star Point Central School District canceled school due to the wind damage, and they plan to do the the same tomorrow. The high school, Star Point Central High School, had some damage to its roof. Now, a lot of the power outages are in Lockport. At one point today, 1,000 people were without power on Park Avenue alone. Now, last night, we showed you this video a resident of that street shared with us of power lines falling, sparking, and catching on fire. I spoke with several residents who live in the Park Ave area who had no power overnight.
Our food is, it's in the refrigerator, there's no power, and we just went and got groceries, and it's packed in there. So, like, a lot of that food is going to go to waste if this is not on within, a few hours here.
I'm just worried about the other people that have younger kids with being cold. That's the main concern right there.
Spokespeople with NYSEG and National Grid say it's still too early to tell how soon all people affected in Niagara County could expect to have power completely restored. Now, some homeowners in Niagara County are dealing with some serious roof damage as a result of those high winds yesterday. Earlier today, I spoke with a homeowner in Pendleton. Coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from her, and you'll see some of that damage. But for now, reporting live in Tonawanda, Angela Christoforos, News 4 at 4.
Angela, thank you. If you still don't have power at your home, maybe you're watching at work or on your phone, there are places you can get dry ice and bottled water. You can use the dry ice to keep a cooler and your food refrigerated if your fridge isn't working. You can get those much needed supplies at the locations you see on your screen. They are all available until 5 o'clock tonight. You can find this list on our website, WIVB.com. And if your power is out, you can still track the latest forecast and stay on top of the weather just by downloading our free Forewarn Weather app or log on to our website, WIVB.com. Turning to your top 4 at 4, a man found guilty of driving drunk in a crash that killed one person and severely hurt another person is going to prison. This happened just a few minutes ago. Dennis Zenos, we found out, could spend up to 6 years in prison for vehicular assault. He could also get out as soon as 2 years. Zenos admitted he was driving while he was intoxicated with 3 others on Delaware Avenue's S-curves when he lost control of the car, causing it to roll over. One of the passengers, Christopher Rizzo, was killed. The Niagara County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this missing teenager. Take a look with me. This is 16-year-old Dominic Mullen. Authorities say he was last seen in the town of Lockport on Tuesday. We're told he has friends in Lockport and family in Springville. You can see what he looks like here, but he's about 5 foot 11 inches tall with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing red jogging pants and a black Chicago Bulls shirt. Call the Sheriff's Office if you think you know where he is. Congressional leaders have asked the Justice Department to send them evidence that might support President Donald Trump's claim that former President Barack Obama wiretapped Trump Tower during the presidential campaign. The president made that claim without providing any evidence. Leaders have asked FBI Director James Comey to hand over any warrant applications and court orders related to the allegations. Meanwhile, the president is asking Congress to look into his allegations as part of their investigation into Russia.
He has asked the House and the Senate Intelligence Committees to use their resources and their processes to examine the facts and come to a conclusion.
A spokesperson for former President Barack Obama released a statement calling President Trump's claims false. And again, neither the president or his administration have offered any proof to back the accusations. Back on Capitol Hill, the GOP's plan to repeal and replace Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act passed its first hurdle overnight when Republicans pushed it through the House Ways and Means Committee. Craig Boswell is in Washington with the latest on their plan.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 31 ayes and 22 nays.
After more than 27 hours of debate, the House Energy and Commerce Committee approved the GOP plan to repeal and replace Obamacare.
This bill guts Obamacare, and it starts the process of putting patients back in charge of their choices.
Getting the bill out of committee is one thing. Getting approval from the full House is another.
I'd repeal Obamacare in toto, which is in direct contrast with the House leadership plan to amend Obamacare.
Congressman Mo Brooks is a member of the House Freedom Caucus, a group of about 40 conservative Republicans.
I think the overwhelming majority of the Freedom Caucus members at this point will not vote for the bill as it now reads.
President Trump has invited some of the Freedom Caucus members to go bowling at the White House tonight in an attempt to win them over.
If people have ideas that will help provide a more patient-centric healthcare system that drives down costs, the president and the team here will be willing to meet with them.
House Speaker Paul Ryan says there's not a lot of room for negotiations, but he believes Republican holdouts will ultimately come over to his side.
This is something that we as conservatives have been dreaming about for decades. This is the chance, and the best and only chance we're going to get.
The Congressional Budget Office still hasn't reported how much the GOP plan would cost. That's expected to be released on Monday. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Next on News 4 a consumer alert you need to know about the new way criminals are stealing your personal information. Also, assessing the damage. We are hearing from more people affected by the powerful winds yesterday, how they're dealing with the aftermath this afternoon.